Hi guys, this is App Unwrapper. I'm continuing my Dead Synchronicity stream. This is the second video. I also want to warn people that if you're playing the game, make sure to manually save it. Apparently it doesn't have any automatic or quick saving, and I lost my first hour, but I was able to quickly get back to where I was, and now I'm going to continue. Enjoy!
Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer anything you want, as long as you don't get near my stuff.
Well, I'll be going on my way. Good luck to you, pal.
Just be sure to stay away from my things.
Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer anything you want, as...
Tell me about Rod Atkinson.
Well, I don't know him very well, but they say he's decent enough. Too decent for the times we're living in. Did you know that before coming here, he was someone important? I think he worked for the government, and he still has some good contacts on the outside. But they're not good enough to get that stupid do-gooder and his family out of here.
Stupid do-gooder?
Well,
You said... Well...
Just be...
Time's left these hinges bent and rusted. There's no way I'm going to be able to break open this door with my bare hands. A bunch of shacks, trying valiantly to stay standing in a sea of mud and trash. I can't imagine how it must be to live in one of them. Hello.
Hello, son. Would you like to get a little closer to the fire?
Thanks, mister. This is a rather isolated part of the camp. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm waiting. That's all. Just waiting.
You're waiting. And what is it you're waiting for exactly?
Nothing in particular. The usual. For the fire to go out, for sunrise, for it to get cold again. I'm waiting for something to change, or for everything to stay as it is. I'm just waiting. You're too young to understand.
It's starting to get cold. Where's your tent? Or your trailer?
Yes, I had a tent once. They issued me one when I decided to enter the refugee camp after the Great Wave. The trailer was out of the question. They went to the families with the best contacts. Now, you know how it is. Even in purgatory, some people are more equal than others.
You say that you decided to enter the camp. Does that mean that people weren't forced to come here?
Oh, no. Of course not. Why would they have to force us? The catastrophe hit the city hard. Those of us who had lost our homes were invited to come here. In principle, it was temporary, just until the authorities got the situation under control and started rebuilding. We used to have food, water, and a place to sleep.
But now it's more like a prison camp than a refugee center. What happened?
I don't really know. I guess something went wrong. The new housing they promised us never got built. And in the end, the army seized control of the camp. The food ran out, and then the water supply. Nobody bothered to replace them. Seems like our lives didn't matter anymore.
I see.
In time, things in here started to get very ugly. There were riots, uprisings, and the army decided to close the gates of the camp without any notice. One day they decided that no one could enter or leave here. Well, actually, people still could. Enter, that is. Now, this is where anyone who gets in the way in the city ends up. Or anyone they don't know what to do with.
So, this has turned into something like a concentration camp.
That's right, son. That's exactly what it is. You know, it's funny. I remember when my father told us about the war in Europe, about all the persecution, deportations, those overcrowded cattle cars. That all sounded to us like an old movie, an old horror movie. And look at us now. I guess some things never change. They just stop being visible for long enough for us to forget about them.
And where's your tent now?
It was stolen from me a while back. They fetch a good price on the black market now.
Stolen? But how could anyone...
You seem to be new in the camp, am I right? These things happen nowadays. It's best to take things as they come. The reality of the new world is very simple, son. The soldiers and the moles do whatever they like on this side of the fence. And the hunter and his men run the black market and all the dirty rackets. I suggest you memorize all this.
The hunter? I've exchanged a few words with him, but I hardly know him. Yes. The man who protected me during all the shooting. He seems like someone with good connections and some answers. Could he know anything about the drug for treating the dissolved? Do you know where I can find him?
You can find him in those barracks at the back. That's his... well, let's say it's his logistics office. Now, the hunter is very dangerous. Watch your step around him and his men. I happened to meet his father when he was young. He was a violent, degenerate son of a bitch. A real asshole. And I'm afraid his son has followed in his footsteps.
Let's talk about something else. So tell me, is there any way to get out of the camp?
I'm sorry, son. The only way to get out of this camp is to know someone important who can pull strings for you. Or to become a camp mole. Those traitorous scumbags have gate passes.
I see.
I'm not surprised you want to get out of this shithole. You've no doubt got something to do or someone to find out there. Well, they say things are better in the city. That there's order and that things are starting to function again. But who knows? Well, at least they have Reverend Blake and the consolation of Suicide Park.
Suicide Park? What's that?
Nah, just a song that drifts into the refugee camp from the other side of the fence now and then. And the first dark stars come out to hang from the sky. We could sit and count them together, you and I, when the sun departs from Suicide Park. I'm sure you still have some hopes, some dreams. I'm afraid you're just too young to understand it.
Who's Reverend Blake?
He's a preacher who sometimes comes from the city to bring us a little comfort. Now, some people make jokes about him, but many of us believe that he's a prophet. You should hear him speak sometime. His words etch themselves deeply into your soul. That's why he has so many followers inside and outside the camp.
And what was the extent of the Great Wave's impact? How are things beyond the city?
Truth is, I couldn't tell you. In the first days, the chaos was so overwhelming that no one worried about anything beyond their own backyard. We victims were disoriented, cut off from the world. Then I came into the camp and news from far-off places doesn't reach this prison. I'm afraid you'd have to leave here to get the answer to that question.
I should be going on my way. Have a pleasant wait, mister. Dented, dirty, and in pretty bad shape. In this corner of the camp, there are drums stored everywhere you look.
Mike, my friend, it's nice to see you again.
Hi.
Guys, this is my friend Mike. He's new around here. We met at one of the cleanup brigade's latest parties. Isn't that right, dude? Pull up a seat and have a drink. We like to be hospitable to newcomers.
Something tells me I shouldn't accept that drink. That it's not a good idea. Not anymore. No thanks. I don't drink.
Okay, Mike, whatever you say. But I'm not accustomed to people turning down a drink. At least, not in my own establishment, in front of my men. So tell me, what brings you here?
A friend of mine is in a bad way. I need to know if there's a drug that can help the dissolved, and how to get it.
A friend of yours, huh? Friendship is important, Mike. The camp is a very tough place, and you have to be loyal to your people. I like your gesture. Do I know this person?
No, I don't think so.
I see. Well, look, dude, I've heard something about that cure, but I don't know if it's true or just a camp legend. Sometimes desperation leads to wishful thinking. You know how it is. But if that drug exists, I can think of only one place you'd be able to find it.
Where?
There's a small medical center on the outskirts of the city. It's more like a pharmaceutical warehouse, but it's heavily guarded. I'd bet my bottom dollar that's where they keep anything that valuable. Maybe you should take a look at that building, if you can find a way out of this hellhole, that is. And I can't help you with that. You know I like you, dude. Let me give you a piece of advice. Stay away from those untouchables, from the dissolved. They won't bring you anything but trouble.
What more can you tell me about the dissolved?
Only what the authorities say, and that's all I need to know. The disease is fatal, and they say you can catch it just by breathing next to one of those untouchables. That's why they have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Have you ever seen one of those poor suckers die, dude?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're lucky, Mike. I don't recommend it. It's a horrible spectacle. It goes something like this. After weeks of drifting in and out of their trances, something happens inside their bodies. Something fails all of a sudden. The pain makes them kick and scream like pigs in a slaughterhouse. Then their flesh begins to melt, to become liquid. Do you understand, Mike? That's why they gave it that name. They literally dissolve.
But that's terrible. Those poor people.
On the contrary, dude, those bastards spread the plague. It's them or us. Understand? Anyway, you know how it works. The cleanup brigades tend to be more than generous with responsible citizens who help them with their mission of tracking down the dissolved.
And can't you get hold of some of that drug for me?
I don't get mixed up in things like that, dude. The army has made it very clear. Helping or hiding the dissolved will be severely punished. Not even collaborators are free from reprisals. You saw what happened to that mole. Those pigs are ruthless about this.
What are you talking about, those pigs?
That's camp slang. The soldiers, the cleanup brigades. The inhabitants of this shithole call anyone with a rifle and a uniform a pig. They can blow your head off right on the spot.
Why do they call you the Hunter?
That's a good question, Mike. You know my real name is Hank, but no one calls me that anymore. Now I'm the Hunter, because I can find you what you want, when you want it. You know, it doesn't matter where it is, how fast it runs, or where it tries to hide. The new world gave me a new name and a new life.
A new life?
Yeah, a new life. It's hard to explain, dude. But I think in a way, you and I are similar, Mike. That's why I love the great wave that changed and purified everything. The old world was a messy, complicated, and unjust place. After the great wave, everything became crystal clear. When all the old laws disappeared, only one rule remained. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's that simple. And that's the universal law that puts each of us in our rightful place. Do you follow me?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Sounds like a handy way to justify anything and everything, even the indefensible. Look at their boss like obedient dogs. I guess these two gorillas, like everything in this establishment, either belong to, work for, or owe some debt of Nope, I'm afraid I don't have any cash on me.
That's no problem here. We don't only accept cash, we also barter. We accept anything of value. That excludes checks, naturally.
Interesting place. Are you the owner?
No, pal, don't get the wrong idea. I only work here. This belongs to the Hunter, like every other business enterprise here inside the camp. He's the head honcho.
I see. What do you sell here?
Anything you can eat or drink. Anything that fits into a box or a bottle. For other types of goods, talk to the Hunter directly. What do you need? Liquor, tobacco, food?
At the moment, I don't need anything like that, but I'll keep it in mind. Clothing. Just out of curiosity, what's in them?
Nothing. Just some things that need to be stored. Take my advice, pal. Keep your nose out of the Hunter's business if you want to keep it on your face.
Okay.
Greetings, pal. What's this? Are you proposing a trade? Because if you are, you came to the right place. What do you need? Liquor, cigarettes, food?
At the moment, I don't need anything like that, but I'll keep it in mind. To all the trouble of taking the hood off an old Corvette and dragging it in here, just to turn it into a tacky... Hello, mister. Are you still waiting?
I still am. The That's all I can do at this point, don't you agree?
I should be going on my way. Have a pleasant wait, mister. A thick wall of scrap metal, debris and rusty metal surrounds this place on all four sides. It's a good 20 feet high. I can't believe it manages to stay up.
Hey, keep your hands away from that thing, pal, if you want him to stay attached to you.
Okay, I just wanted to see it up close. There's no reason to get nervous. Good hand?
Not bad. But you know what they say. The important thing is not the hand. It's knowing how to play your cards right.
If you've come to be with the girl, where's the money? If you haven't, quit bothering us.
Hello, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Excuse me? What did you call me?
You're Mr. Sleepyhead. I saw you sleeping in Colin's trailer. I'm so glad you're awake now.
I wasn't asleep. I was sick for a long time in that trailer.
No, you weren't sick. You were sleeping. Like a big brown bear, Sir Sleepyhead. Sometimes I used to watch you sleeping in Rod's house, and you would grunt in your sleep like a bear. A great big lazy bear, Mr. Sleepyhead. But I'm glad you're awake now. I like your voice. You sound like a knight in a fairy tale.
Mr. Sleepyhead? No, that's not my name. I'm Michael.
No, you're just trying to fool me. You're Mr. Sleepyhead. My name is Rose.
There's something odd about this girl's behavior. It's true that she's very young, but she talks like a little girl. Nice to meet you, Rose. So, do you know Rod and Colin too?
Of course. I go over to their house a lot. Well, when they let me out of the van, that is. Rod and his wife have been very nice to me. Sometimes they let me play with Colin. We're very good friends. Are you a friend of Rod's and Colin's too, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Yes, I'm friends with them too.
Do you want me to tell you a secret, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Of course.
I have your old clothes. The ones you were wearing when Rod and his wife found you. I have them in the van. They were going to throw them away, but they gave them to me to wrap my baby in. He'll be cold now that winter's coming.
Your baby? You have a baby, Rose?
Yes, I have a baby, but he's not with me right now. He got lost. Have you seen him? Do you know where he is? I have another secret to tell you, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Back in the van, Rose, now. Move your ass. Get in there.
Another secret? Just a minute. Wait!
Get in that van, Rose.
It's a very important secret, Mr. Sleepyhead. Something about you. Something about before the Great Wave. But first I have to find my baby. Have you seen him?
Come on, Rose, you heard me. You don't want to get us mad now, do you?
I have to go. Goodbye, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Poor girl. She's obviously mentally ill. She's just a little girl in a grown-up's body.
And you, if you want to go in there with her, you got to pay like everybody else. What exactly do you think you're doing?
Just try putting those grubby little fingers on those coins, and we'll chop them off and use them for poker chips. Hey, will you quit bothering us already?
Better not. If these guys are unpleasant sober, I had to imagine them drunk.
Hey, where do you think you're going, pal?
Let me into the van. I just want to talk to Rose for a few minutes.
Of course, it's none of our business what you want to do with her. But if you go into the van, you gotta pay the price.
Listen, you got any money on you?
No, I don't have any on me.
Then come back when you do and quit bothering us. We have a very busy schedule, you know?
The girl said something about a secret involving me. Something from before the Great Wave. It seemed important. But what is it? Maybe it was a product of her madness. But I need to talk to her inside that van to get some answers. I'll come back with the money.
Now that sounds much better. I see that we're starting to speak the same language.
I'm afraid that the fuel that powers this generator isn't made from barley.
Hey, Rat, I don't think that motorcycle belongs to you. Or at least I don't remember seeing your name on it anywhere. Am I mistaken?
Are you one of those people who have no respect for private property, bastard? Do you know what we do in this camp with people like you?
I'm beginning to get an idea. I was just curious about this thing. I'm stepping away. A small military sentry box with no door. So narrow that the soldier on duty can hardly turn around inside.
Where do you think you're going, Rat? No one leaves here without a pass, unless it's with a bullet between the eyes.
Yes, and we can take care of that for you if you don't get away from that gate. Come on, stick your neck out. We could use a little entertainment tonight.
What's the matter, Rat? Cat got your tongue?
I think it's best if I get away from the gate. I'm afraid their threats are deadly serious. Sorry, guys. I'm not looking for trouble. You say that I can only get out of the camp with a pass. Where can I get one?
Only soldiers and moles have passes for entering and leaving the camp. And you don't look like either one of those things. So get lost.
Well, sometimes we can make an exception, but only if the person who wants to leave is generous enough. And why exactly do you want to leave the refugee camp? What did you lose on the other side of the fence, Rat?
I have my reasons, and I don't think they're any of your business.
What's your tongue, you son of a bitch? If you want to hold on to it.
Don't push your luck. We could blow your head off right here, Rat. Try showing a little more respect.
So, I've heard things are better in the city. Is that true?
Yeah, it could be. But that's none of your business. What do you care? If you're gonna die in this dump anyway.
Get the idea of leaving right out of your head. There's no place for rats like you on the other side of the fence. Unless you want to take a walk in Suicide Park. Do you want to become a Dark Star, Rat?
Now quit bothering us and get lost.
I just want to help a friend's kid, that's all.
Heartwarming. Really heartwarming. I got an idea. Why don't you bring your friend and his kid with you? We'd be happy to let all three of you leave.
Really?
Of course, Rat. We love target practice. I promise to give you guys a running start.
Yeah, we'll give you a few yards start. That would make it more fun.
I get the impression I'm talking to two armed psychopaths. Unbelievable. Who put these guys in charge of guarding the camp? I'm afraid it doesn't seem like such a good idea to me anymore. But thanks for the suggestion. But why are you calling me Rat? Who's in charge here?
Well, did you hear that? It looks like we have a new kid on the block. Let me ask you something. If you people living in this camp crawl around in garbage, build your houses out of garbage, and eat garbage, what else are we going to call you?
We're in charge here, the ones with the rifles. That's the only rule you need to know. See all those dark stains on the wall next to the barbed wire?
Yes, I see them.
They're the guts and brains of rats like you who forgot the golden rule. We call it the Wall of Shame. We're in charge here. That's pretty easy to grasp, isn't it? But sometimes one of you forgets. And that gives us some more motivation to make you better students. So, how's your memory?
My memory? That's funny. In another context, that would be an amusing question. But there's nothing amusing about these animals. My memory works well enough to remember who's in charge here. Don't worry.
You catch on fast, right? That's a good thing. Now get out of here.
Nice motorcycle.
It is, isn't it? It's ours. So get anywhere near it, and you'll end up against that wall.
You don't have the authority to touch it, or point at it, or even look at it.
Dare to touch it with your grubby hands, and you're a dead man. I guarantee it. Got it?
Okay, understood. I won't bother you anymore.
Get lost.
Better not to see them drunk. Their violence could escalate to hazardous levels. The Wall of Shame. The soldiers at the gate called it. This wall looks like it's witnessed a good number of executions, to say nothing of murders.
What part of the words "get lost" don't you understand, rat? You'd better have a good reason for getting that close to the gate, rat.
Sorry, sometimes I'm a little hard of hearing. I'm moving away from it. Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer.
Can you tell?
The price of human.
Let's talk about something else. Well,
Just.
it's good old Rod, the person who's been taking care of me all this time. He's waiting for me to find the medicine for his son's disease. He promised to restore my identity if I do. It gives me the chills to think that he's putting Colin's life in my hands. Colin's mother. I can't imagine her anguish watching her son's life slipping away without being able to do anything. It's Colin, but dissolved. It's shocking to see one up close. I'm ashamed to admit that I'm afraid of catching it, but I'm glad there's a pane of glass between us right now. I can't reach it from here. I have no intention of putting my hand. There's nothing else in that shopping. The ground in this lot is full of trash, scrap metal, and broken glass. This is where I learned my first lesson. If you want to avoid problems, watch your step. Nothing but leaky roofs and cardboard walls that would blow away in the wind if they weren't tied down. Good God. The very look of this place is disheartening. It's bolted from inside. I'm afraid it's not going to open. A photo of my host. However, Rod... I'm not going to snuff out this oil lamp. The enormous trailer that serves as a home for Rod and his family. I find a... Although it looks hastily and shoddily built, it's surprising to see a brick-and-mortar building amid all these shacks in the refugee camp. No doubt this must belong to someone important, or with very good contacts in here. A quick glance at these tents is enough to make you realize how forsaken these poor people are, confined against their will inside the camp. A clandestine dive, which at the same time is the headquarters of the black market in the refugee camp. A nice place to hang out. This bright light leaves no doubt about where the entrance to the building is. There are some insects fluttering around it that end up getting scorched by the heat and dropping dead. It's a thick cable that runs along that building's roof, but I can't see it very well from here. It's too high. Dented, dirty, and in pretty bad shape. Okay, here goes. It's impossible to budge these drums at all. I don't know what they contain, but whatever it is, it weighs a ton. Hello, mister. Are you still waiting?
I still am. That's all I can do at this point, don't you agree?
I should be going on my way. Have a pleasant wait, mister. Someone placed a bunch of those rusty drums up against the wall. Ugh. They smell like liquor and industrial oil. Oh, Jesus. The cocktail of odors is nauseating. These drums are full and sealed. Why waste the liquor on them? Okay, here goes. It's impossible to budge these drums at all. I don't know what they contain, but whatever it is. Dented, dirty, and in pretty bad... Stain from spilled drinks, rings from glasses and rust. The bartender looks out from the other side, seemingly bored and apathetic.
Greetings, pal. What's this? Are you proposing a trade? Because if you are, you came to the right place. What do you need? Liquor? Cigarettes? Food?
At the moment, I don't need anything like that, but I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. I'm not going to give it to them. They're already drinking their own. I don't think the bartender would be interested in a bunch of empty cans. He sells full ones. Why would I give the cans to anyone? They're empty. There's not a single drop of beer left in them. They're used and empty. Why would I want to refill these cans? A bunch of empty aluminum cans, lightweight and tinny. This old metal stool serves as a table. The truth is that its unfortunate appearance doesn't exactly invite you to sit on it. Oh, that's the background music for the establishment. The speaker is cranking out a dreary, droning country song, and it's getting on my nerves. Most of these bottles have been opened, and they look like they've been reused hundreds of times. They're filled with a grayish liquid with a rather unappetizing appearance.
Hi, Mike. So what brings you here?
I should be going now.
Fine, Mike. You're welcome anytime. Remember, dude, here we can get you whatever you need. No questions asked.
I prefer to hold on to it. I think this will be more useful. They're used and dented. I can't figure out how to use the cans with this. The cable's too high. This guy already has enough junk in his shopping cart. He doesn't... Cars, machinery, steel, cement, even the skeleton of an old construction crane. This place is a veritable cemetery of the industrial age. Why would I give the cans to anyone? They're empty. There's not a single drop of beer left in them. Use this here? How? I don't have the slightest doubt that these cans might seem like scrap metal and trash at first glance, but that's still no reason to get rid of them. They're used and dented. I can't figure out how to use the cans with this.
Hey, where do you think you're going, pal?
Let me into the van. I just want to talk to Rose for a few minutes.
Of course, it's none of our business what you want to do with it.
It doesn't seem like a good idea. Why would I give the cans to anyone? They're empty. I don't think I'd gain anything. They're used and dented. I'm afraid I can't do that. Clean and well maintained. This bike, although...
Hey, Red, I don't think that motorcycle belongs.
Are you one of those people who have no...
I'm beginning to get enough. I'm stepping away. They're used and dented. It doesn't look like it's having any effect.
Hi guys, I'm gonna take another break, but I'll be back soon.